Johnny Rock Show. Rockin' 101, the Rock Station.
9:30, the Johnny Rock Show on a Thursday. On the phone, calling from the Big Snapple, New York City. I've never talked to you, sir, and I've been a fan for a long time. Craig Ferguson, welcome to the Johnny Rock Show. How you been?
I've been very well, Johnny. How have you been?
Well, always better when you're here. Oh, man. All right.
Hey, Johnny, that's your real name, Johnny Rock? That's one of the greatest names I've ever heard. That's a great name.
Thank you. It's my stage name, but Henry Winkler also asked me that once, so you're in good company.
Henry Winkler is maybe the nicest guy in show business. Did you know that? I've known him for a long time. He is just the nicest guy. I sent an assistant round to his house to pick up something once. He made the kid a sandwich.
That's funny. He was a complete a-hole to me. No, listen. He's
was
great.
He really? No, I don't believe it.
No, the Fonz is the nicest guy. He gave up his couch for like 2 years to an actress who would later go on and win an Academy Award. I mean, things like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, he really is that nice a guy. It's kind of like when I first met him, I was like, okay, what's going on here? But there's nothing going on. He's that nice.
Well, I love it. Your new podcast, Henry Winkler, the nicest. No, it's called Joy. Joy, a podcast. I think that's very positive to do a podcast about joy. Yes.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I wanted to do. It's a podcast which, if you talk about joy with someone for more than 5 minutes, you actually get to. It becomes a very intimate conversation. It becomes personal, and not just intimate and personal. No, intimate and personal in the sense of like, hey, what do you wear in a bedroom? It's not that, but more about how do you see the world? How do you deal with it? How do you deal with not just when you feel joy and how you experience it, but what does it look like when you don't have it, and when it goes away, or how do you cope when there's a lack of it in your life? And it leads the conversation into, because I think joy is kind of like oxygen. You're going to need some, or you're not going to make it. So it's how do you cultivate it when things aren't looking so good? And everyone has a different take on it. Some wildly different. Some people it's their faith. Some people it's their work. Some people it's their family. Some people it's a combination of all those things. Some people struggle with trying to find it. Some people don't get it unless they're helping other people. I mean, it's fabulous. It's really an interesting subject for me.
Our guest is Craig Ferguson. Craig, can I ask, what brings you joy, among other things?
It varies, on time. I think joy, like everything in life, like life itself, is fleeting. And what brought me joy when I was, 18 isn't necessarily what brings me joy now that I'm 61. So I think that it changes from time to time. There are constants, large, big themes like love with your family and, time spent with people that you care about. Of course, that brings you joy, but in a kind of more existential sense, what brings you joy? A sense of wonder, a sense of being in the right place at the right time. And sometimes I can get that from, I don't know, a walk in nature or standing on the stage in front of a bunch of people when the stand-up is going well. It varies, and identifying different parts of it is fascinating. And I wonder, why does that bring you joy, and why does that bring you joy? And I think also, if one person can, and maybe I'm just talking about myself here, but if you're feeling bad, if I'm feeling bad and I manage to somehow shake off how bad I feel in order to reach out my hand to help somebody else, that seems to work too. If I can think about somebody else for a minute. But maybe that's, I don't think that's just me, but that helps. It changes from time to time.
I have to ask, who came up with the skeleton Ed McMahon for your show?
That was I came up with the idea of it, and we got it done, and it was emblematic of my failure because I wanted it to be an ironic statement about sidekicks. But Josh Robert Thompson, the guy who did it, was so good at it, it just became a good sidekick. So I feel like I failed.
No, not at all. One of the greatest ever. Listen, you're a joy, Craig Ferguson. Check out the new podcast, Joy. Well, you be safe out there. Enjoy New York City all day and all night. And come on back to the Johnny Rock Show anytime, okay?
Thanks, Johnny. Thanks for having me. I think I'm playing in Minneapolis pretty soon. I'm doing a couple of shows in the Fantasias there. So why don't you come along?
Oh, well, if you're paying, I'm playing. I'd love it. We'll be there.
Sure. I can get you a ticket at an extremely beneficial discount rate. We'll stay in touch.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
The Johnny Rock Show. Rockin' 101. The Rock Station.